Loved ones a fighting chance. Give Supernatural Silver. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HOLIDAY2014 for 30% off. And this holiday season, we wish you and yours the blessings of peace and good health from all of us here at supernaturalsilver.com.
Alex Jones here, back live. Steve Quayle riding shotgun. Your calls, JJ, Steve, Jerry, Margaret, John. Your calls are all coming up with your predictions or what you think the most important issues of 2015 are, or your questions for Steve Quayle, who will continue his analysis right through to the next hour. But I want to do some calls before we get into more of it with him in the next hour. We're about to go right back to Steve Quayle. But when you watch, it doesn't mean there isn't massive police abuse. There doesn't mean there aren't a lot of bad departments or asset forfeiture seizure. It doesn't mean that the federalization hasn't caused a lot of issues. There are people that either mindlessly support whatever the police do, and then that gives rise to arrogance and corruption, or they just say, kill all the police. It's called due process. It's called measuring what individuals do, not what somebody in uniform does in New York versus somebody in Texas. But when I look at these police, anti-police protests, it's the Democratic Party, it's the Socialist Party, it's the Communist Party, it's the Rockefeller Foundation. You can see the group signs will say who's sponsoring it. George Soros, the same guy that just overthrew Ukraine. And it doesn't mean Russia's good either, but they're starting it. It's internationalists who want to bring in this crisis, this destabilization, this Cloward and Piven. And it's a communist tactic. Doesn't mean they're going to bring communism in. It's declassified that British intelligence funded Lenin to take over in 1917, 1918 as part of the great game to bring down Russia. These globalists use communists to take over. Let's go back to Steve Quayle. Steve Quayle, break this down. Talk about Saul Alinsky, who we now know Hillary Clinton got caught writing basically worship letters to when she was in college, and him advising her. I mean, this is truly disgusting. This is a guy who said he wanted to basically put farmers in forced labor camps.
Absolutely, and you know, there is rules for radicals and then his 8 levels of control. Let's talk about control, Alex, because behind every event that you and I talk about and have ever talked about on talk radio or interviews, there is a control mechanism, the unseen hand. But number one, healthcare. These are Saul Alinsky's biggest points. And I tell people, if you understand the root of evil, then every single piece of legislation makes sense. And by the way, look at the chicken poop, and that's what they are, Republicans. They could have stopped this entity, the man in the slaughterhouse, at any point, and they didn't. So people say, well, I just believe we had a great victory. The great victory? You kidding? Tell me anything that's changed. Well, let's go back to Saul Alinsky. Healthcare. Number one, control healthcare and you control the people. What was the most important thing of this destroyer's principle is Obamacare. Poverty. Increase the poverty level as high as possible. Poor people are easier to control and will not fight back if you're providing everything for them to live. Increase the poverty level. 100 million people unemployed, 49 million people on food stamps. Debt. Increase the debt to an unsustainable level. That way you're able to increase taxes, and this will produce more poverty. Ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, where has the middle class gone? To a large degree, they're destroyed. Gun control. Remove the ability to defend themselves from the government. That way you are able to create a police state. Welfare. Take control of every aspect of their lives, food, housing, and income. And Alex, we got to get to the food issue right now because that's going on as we speak. Education. Take control of what people read and listen to. Take control of what children learn in school. Core teaching, the core curriculum. I remember, Tom Terrific, the old day cartoons. Krabby Appleton was rotten to the core. Well, that's exactly who we've got running the country. A whole group of Krabby Appletons. Only guys my age would understand that probably. Religion. Remove the belief of God from government and schools. And now here it comes. Class warfare. Divide the people into the wealthy and the poor. This will cause more discontent and it will be easier to tax the wealthy with the support of that. Are we not seeing that, Alex? We're seeing it right before our very eyes. You and I could take any one of those subjects and talk for 24 hours straight, and that's not a boast, it just happens to be true, and deal with it. So what we then go to is the rules for radicals, and that's the bottom line. Is it always starts with, are you ready for this? Community organizers. Number one, power is not only what you have, but what the enemy thinks you have. Power is derived from two main sources: money and people. Have-nots must build power from flesh and blood. Number two, never go outside the expertise of your people. It results in confusion, fear, and retreat. Feeling secure adds to the backbone.
Stay there. You're reading the guru of the Democratic Party running this country for foreign globalists, Saul Alinsky, openly how to wreck things, how to make people poor, and then how to take over society. This is the person that Hillary wrote to saying, you are basically my North Star. You are my governing, director. Just pure evil.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Sold out for weeks due to the difficult and extensive proprietary process behind its creation. The exclusive InfoWars Life Secret 12 formulation is now back in stock in the last limited shipment of 2014. The most bioactive form that has been created with our proprietary process. This ultra-clean vitamin B12 nutraceutical has been carefully crafted and developed over the last 2 years and is based on cellular science of how your body actively absorbs essential nutrients. Secret 12 is taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Vitamin B12 deficiency is linked to scores of serious problems. And Secret 12 is a fusion of two organic, proprietary forms of vitamin B12, bringing you a true nutraceutical quality vitamin B12. Secret 12. Secret 12 is an excellent Christmas gift and is tailor-made to boost your New Year's resolutions. Supplies of Secret 12 are very limited. Secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. 2015 is almost here, and with it comes those New Year's resolutions to finally transform your body the way you want it. There's a reason over 88% of New Year's resolutions fail. Make this year different by equipping yourself with Oxy Powder, the next level in cleansing the body naturally. Using super oxygenation, Oxy Powder, available through InfoWarsLife.com, gently cleanses the body while you sleep with easy capsules. InfoWars Nightly News Director Rob Dew has been using Oxy Powder with incredible success.
Took it that first day, then I took it for 6 more days after that. 12 pounds melted off in about a week. I'd say a week, 7 days. And I've been able to keep it off too. My wife is like, wow, you look really good. And I'm like, I know, I guess it's this Oxy Powder.
2015 can be different. Diet and exercise are important, but a lot of us have already tried that. Oxy Powder flushes it out. Secure your Oxy Powder at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds. Is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with super male or super female vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 188-253-3139.
We are on the march. The empire is on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
We're living on the edge. When you look at the planetary engineers, they know what they're doing. They're cold-blooded. And if we're unaware of their tactics, we're helpless. If we're aware of their tactics and can educate others, we can certainly protect ourselves and our families. Even if you were a sociopath, knowing how the world really works can make you very wealthy. The globalists want you dumbed down so that you can be fed on. As Christ said, the people perish for lack of knowledge. And the reason I'm so dedicated and quite frankly fearless in the face of this is I realize there's no future if we don't stand up against this. Going along with it, especially in the final phases of this, ensures your destruction. But also, it means you've chosen to join with the New World Order. We're reading through Saul Alinsky, Hillary Clinton's mentor, and every Democrat I know who's an operative, I mean, they worship this guy. And I remember reading his book like 20 years ago, Rules for Radicals. It's a short little book. And it's so evil how they want to make people poor so they can control them and how they're going to be the ruling class engineers. It's just more eugenics. It's so evil to read what Margaret Sanger wrote about black people and using liberalism to control them and just to know the plan. That's why I dream of defeating these people. And just like they want to dumb people down and motivate them to fight for tyranny, believing it's liberation. I mean, you know, the weathermen and stuff, they were the ones that said, go out and just shoot a pig. And then that just turns the police into a bunch of paranoid paramilitary people who'll then just feed on the general public. It's the way you destabilize a country so they can then take over. That's a standard communist program. That's why it's so essential that everyone out there spread the word about Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com and these local AM/FM affiliates you're hearing us on, and that you tell friends and family about it, and that you thank the station or become a sponsor or support the sponsors and let them know. Because we are growing, but meeting more resistance than ever. So we're walking forward in the storm, but it gets harder and harder. And we either grow or we implode. That's how media works. I need you to support us financially. I need you to support us by spreading the word and your prayers. And to support other media that stands up for the family and the Second Amendment and sovereignty, but that will expose the fact that, yes, the interest rates are rigged worldwide. We told you that 15 years ago. It's declassified last year. We told you the Federal Reserve was private. It's all admitted now. We know what we're talking about. I've read Carol Quigley's book. I've read Brzezinski's books. I've read the nonfiction books of Aldous Huxley. The Doors of Perception and Brave New World Revisited. I mean, I've read Bertrand Russell's books. I know their diabolical plan. We've quoted them here. The Club of Rome documents that Steve was reading a few months ago when he was on, where they said we're going to wage war against humanity. This is so cold-blooded, but to get us to go along with it, they have to first turn us all against each other. And it's so sickening. So today, it's more important than ever. Go to prisonplanet.tv. It takes a minute to sign up. Create a username and passcode that's original just to the site. And then share your username with friends and family. 20 people can simultaneously log on. And if your membership gets used and 20 people log on, you ought to thank God. If you try to tune into the nightly news one night at 7 and you can't get on, that means 20 people are using your membership. PrisonPlanet.tv. Go there. Give it as a Christmas gift. Give it to friends and family. Give it as an e-card. 20 people can log on. That's 12 cents a person per month. Go to InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. We've got a bunch of specials still running on the entire family of InfoWarsLife.com products that really have been life-changing for myself and others, whether it's X2 Nation Iodine or whether it's Oxy powder to flush out your intestines or whether it's high-quality colloidal silver at a low-price silver bullet. We've got it all at InfoWarsLife.com, and that's how I finance this operation. And I thank you all for your prayers. And be sure to go over as well and check out all the amazing books and information at stevequayle.com. We'll talk about that more in the next hour. Steve, I'm ranting. I want to go to calls because they're holding with their predictions. I want their ideas to bounce off you. Then you'll be able to get back into a deep breakdown of what's happening because you're on fire today. But start back over with the rules for radicals from the guy that dedicates his life to Lucifer, that just this year, all these Hillary letters got released out of the Clinton library with her in correspondence with him when Life magazine, when she was in college, was saying, here's a woman who may be first lady.